Little girl cried. They took my mom. Minutes later, 87 Hell's Angels surrounded the building. The little girl's voice was shaking. Her shirt was torn. Her knees were bloody. And her words hit Reaper harder than any bullet ever had. They took my mom, please. Please help me. For a moment, the entire world fell silent. Before this emotional story begins, Backhand Index Pointing Right, subscribe to our channel, Bikers Hype, Backhand Index Pointing Right like, and share this video with your biker-loving friends Backhand Index Pointing Right. If you love the Hells Angels, share this video and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Backhand Index Pointing Right, comment your name for future story characters. The girl in the iron rain hammered against the cracked highway outside Coyote Hayes' diner, turning the world gray and cold. Reaper and Ghost were inside, finishing a long ride that had taken them through 2 states and more fights than they wanted. Reaper leaned back in his seat, boots on the table, leather cut dripping from the storm. Ghost sipped black coffee, staring at a map. Everything was normal until the diner door slammed open so hard it cracked the wooden frame. A tiny girl, no older than 7, stumbled inside, soaking wet, hair plastered to her face, shoes muddy, tears cutting lines across her cheeks. The whole diner froze. Reaper slowly put his boots on the floor. Ghost whispered, "What the hell?" The girl spotted Reaper immediately, maybe because of his massive size, maybe because she sensed something protective in him, and ran, stumbling, falling, crawling, until she reached his table. Her small hands grabbed his leather vest. Her voice trembled. Please help, they took my mom." Reaper felt something in his chest twist, a pain worse than any broken bone. Ghost knelt beside the girl, speaking softly. "Who took her, sweetheart?" Her lips trembled. The men in the black van, the ones with the snake tattoos, they said if I scream, they'll hurt her. Reaper's jaw clenched so hard it looked like stone. He knew that tattoo. Everyone in the underworld did. The Black Serpents, a violent trafficking ring that the Hells Angels had already clashed with twice, and now they had taken a mother. Reaper stood slowly. The diner felt too small to contain his anger. "Where?" he asked. The girl pointed with a shaking hand toward the highway. They drove toward the old factory, the one with the broken roof. Reaper looked at Ghost. Ghost nodded. And with that, everything changed. The Hells Angels were going to war. The call that rattled the West End. Reaper lifted the girl into his arms, holding her like she was something sacred. "Ghost," he growled. "Light it up?" Ghost pulled out his phone and opened the Angels' encrypted network. "Sending out the alert?" Reaper didn't hesitate. "Send it." Ghost tapped one button, point 1 red icon, flash point 1 message, went out. Code black. Child at Arthur within 30 seconds. Every Hells Angels chapter within 3 states received it. Engines ignited. Boots hit the pavement. Brothers mounted their Harleys with fire in their hearts. I end the next 6 minutes. 21 Angels left the Sacramento Chapter 39 Angels, left the Redwood Chapter 17 Angels from Nevada, crossed the border. 10 independent Angels already on the road, changed direction by the time Reaper reached Highway 9 with the little girl clinging to his vest. 87 Hells Angels were riding toward him. The girl's story, the wind whipped past him as Reaper rode his Harley. The girl wrapped safely in his leather jacket. Ghost rode beside him. "What's your name?" Reaper asked gently as they rode. "Lily," she whispered. "Okay, Lily, you're safe now." Her next words broke him. "They took my mom because she tried to stop them from taking me." Reaper almost swerved. Ghost looked over, eyes wide. "She fought them?" Ghost asked. Lily nodded. "She scratched their faces, she screamed, she told them to run and never stop." Reaper felt a lump in his throat. This wasn't just another case. This was personal. It'd be by the time they reached the abandoned factory's outskirts, every biker within miles could hear the roar. 87 Harley-Davidson engines thundering like a storm of justice. The SUR of the old factory sat alone in the dark valley like a dying monster. Half the roof was collapsed, windows shattered, rust creeping across metal beams. But inside, Reaper could hear muffled cries, the woman's cries. "Mom!" Lily screamed. Reaper caught her hand. "You're staying with Ghost. You hear me? I need to go inside." Lily nodded, tears streaming. Ghost lifted her into his arms, whispering, "We'll get her back. I swear on my colors." Then Reaper raised his arm, and 87 bikers circled the entire building, forming an iron wall. The Serpents had nowhere left to run. The angels kill their engines silence. Then Reaper's voice boomed like thunder. Come out, now, and bring the woman. No response, only distant whimpering. Reaper cracked his neck. Fine. He lifted his boot and kicked the factory door off IDS hinges. Inside, the darkness inside smelled like rust and evil. Reaper walked slowly, fists clenched. Footsteps echoed. Breathing. Whispers. He spotted 3 serpents first. They smirked. Well, the famous Reaper. One said, we were going to sell the mother, but now... Reaper cut him off. You're not leaving this building upright. The serpent pulled a knife. Reaper grinned. Good. I was hoping you'd resist. The fight was brutal, quick at bone-shattering. Within seconds, all 3 were unconscious. Reaper kept moving, checking room by room, until he heard a small voice. Help, please, he ran, fast. Kicked open another room, and there she was, Lily's mother tied to a chair, bruised, terrified, but alive. Her eyes widened when she saw him. You're one of the angels, Reaper nodded. Your daughter sent us. She broke into tears. Is Lily safe? She's with my brother. You're going home tonight. That's a promise. He began untying her, but froze when, a gun cocked behind him, the leader appears. Step away from the merchandise. The serpent's leader stepped from the shadows. A tall, scarred man with cold eyes and a snake tattoo that wrapped around his neck. We were going to make a lot of money on these too, he said. And you ruined that. Reaper didn't speak. His silence was more dangerous than anger. The leader pressed a gun to Lily's mother's head. Back away, angel. He didn't get to finish. Reaper moved so fast it was almost supernatural. He grabbed the barrel, twisted, elbowed the man in the jaw, kicked his knee in, and slammed him into a steel pillar so hard it echoed across the building. The gun skidded across the floor. The leader spat blood. You can't take all of us, Reaper punched him again. We already did. Because outside, Ghost's voice echoed to the entire factory. Serpents are down. Building secured. The RN Reaper carried Lily's mother outside, supported her weight gently. The moment Lily saw her, she screamed, NOM. She ran, stumbled, fell, got up, ran again, and threw herself into her mother's arms, sobbing uncontrollably. I thought they were going to take you forever. Her mother held her tight, crying into her hair. No one is taking you from me, ever. Reaper stepped back, letting them have their moment, but Lily broke away and ran to him. She hugged his legs so tightly it startled him. Thank you for bringing her back. Reaper knelt and hugged her gently. Your family now, kid. The AFD police arrived later, escorted by the angels. The serpents were arrested. Lily and her mother received medical care, but something happened that no one expected. When paramedics tried to lift Lily into the ambulance, she refused. I'm going with Reaper, she said softly. Her mother nodded. It's okay. He saved us. I trust him. Lily climbed into Reaper's arms again, leaning against his chest. You came for me, she whispered. Reaper swallowed hard. You asked? That's enough. Why, Reaper really did he go stood beside him, watching. You okay? Reaper hesitated. Years ago, when I was a kid, my little sister disappeared. No one came. No one helped. Ghost's eyes softened. So now you help every kid you can. Reaper nodded. Every single one. Lily held on to his vest tighter. I'm glad you found me, she whispered. Reaper whispered back. Me too, Lily. Me too. The final ride home, Lily and her mother rode home behind Reaper, escorted by 87 Hell's Angels like a wall of steel. Cars pulled aside. People stared. Engines roared like thunder, but to Lily it sounded like music, like safety, like hope. When they reached her house, Lily kissed Reaper's cheek. You're my hero. Reaper smiled for the first time in a long time. No, you're the brave one, she giggled. You think the angels will still help me if I call? Ghost ruffled her hair. If you ever call again, kid, you won't get 87 angels. You'll get all of us. The night was quiet now. Too quiet. The flashing police lights were fading in the distance as they escorted the captured serpents away. Paramedics were packing their equipment. Neighbors peeked from their windows. whispering about the army of leather-clad bikers standing like silent guardians around a small house at the edge of the town. But for Reaper, the world had narrowed down to one moment. Lily standing on her porch, holding her mother's hand, tiny, exhausted, but safe, the whole ride home. She hadn't let go of Reaper's vest even once. Now she stood in front of it with those same trembling eyes from earlier, but this time, instead of fear, there was something else, trust, hope, a kind of love only a child can give to the one who saved her life. Ghost nudged Reaper's arm. "You okay, man?" Reaper didn't answer, not because he was angry, but because he felt something he hadn't felt in years, something warm, something healing. He wasn't a father. He never had kids. But tonight, he felt like one that promised the angels don't. But Lily stepped closer, fiddling with the sleeve of her jacket. "Reaper?" she whispered. "Yeah, sweetheart." Her voice cracked. "Are you going to disappear now? Like the heroes in movies? They save people and never come back." Reaper lowered himself to one knee so he could meet her eyes. "No," he said softly. "I'm not disappearing. But you're a Hell's Angel. You're busy with big things. You don't have time for a girl like me." Reaper placed his big hand gently on her shoulder. "Lily, you're the reason men like me exist." A tear rolled down her cheek. "For girls like you, we take on a whole damn world." Ghost smiled behind them. Tank walked up, arms crossed. The giant of a man cleared his throat awkwardly. "We, bought something for kid." Reaper looked over, eyebrows raised. "Tank, what did you buy?" Tank reached into his saddlebag and pulled out a small leather vest, a tiny one. Hand-stitched Hell's Angels colors on the back instead of Prospect. It said, "Guardian Angeli." Gasped. Her mother covered her mouth, tears welling up again. "You made that?" Reaper asked. Tank shrugged. "Yeah, well, figure the kid earned it." Lily threw her arms around Tank's massive leg. "Thank you." She looked like a tiny kitten hugging a lion. The entire biker line cracked into smiles. IT was the first time any of them had smiled all night. The truth about while Ghost helped Lily try on her new vest, her mother walked to Reaper. "You saved us," she said quietly. "I did what anyone should have done," Reaper replied. "No," she insisted. "No one else came. People saw what happened. Cars drove by. People shut their doors. They didn't want to get involved." She paused. "But you sent 87 men after one little girl and her mother." Reaper didn't know what to say, and so she continued. "I saw the way Lily looked at you. You're a stranger, yet she trusted you instantly." Her eyes softened. "You remind her of someone." Reaper raised an eyebrow. "Who?" "Her father," she whispered. "He passed away 2 years ago." Reaper felt his chest tighten. Silence filled the air. The moon hung high above them, bathing the entire biker group in pale silver light. Her mother continued. "You know?" Lily talked on the way home, about how you held her while she cried, about how you told her she was safe, about how you rode with her like she mattered. She looked directly into his eyes. "For the first time in 2 years, my daughter wasn't scared." Reaper swallowed hard. "That means more to me than you know," he finally said. The final art suddenly. The distant sound of engines rumbling toward them pulled everyone's attention. IT was the rest of the angels returning from sweeping the valley for any remaining serpents. Their headlights lit up the road like a fiery parade. Ghost grinned. "That's the last of them. Serpents are officially off the map." Tank cracked his knuckles. "Good." The leader of the Nevada chapter rode to the front. He removed his helmet, revealing a rough, scarred face. "You all good here?" he asked. Reaper nodded. "Better than good." Then Lily rushed forward, standing in front of the entire biker army, her tiny leather vest shimmering in the moonlight. She raised her little hand. "Wait!" Every biker, all 87, froze. Lily stepped toward Reaper, wrapped her arms around his leg, and whispered, "Don't forget me." Reaper bent down, lifted her gently into his arms, and whispered back, "We'll never forget you, little guardian angel." She smiled, the kind of smile that could crack stone. "And if you ever need us," Reaper added, "just call for the angels." Ghost lifted his phone, took a picture of Lily in her vest, and said, "This one's going in the clubhouse." The bikers cheered. Engines roared. Lily hugged Reaper one last time. "I love you," she whispered. Reaper closed his eyes for a moment. "I love you too, kid." Then he placed her safely into her mother's arms. The angels lined up. One by one, engines revved. Reaper mounted his Harley. He looked back at Lily, still waving, still smiling. And then, boom, that 87 Harley engines roared to life, lighting up the night sky. A storm of brotherhood, thunder, and steel. They rode off into the darkness, leaving behind only swirling dust, the echo of engines and the image of a tiny girl wearing a guardian angel vest. And that, my friends, is the story of how 87 Hell's Angels answered the cry of one little girl and saved a mother from the darkest evil. If this story touched your heart, backhand index pointing right, subscribe to Bikers Hype. Backhand index pointing right like, and share this story with your friends. Backhand index pointing right. Comment your name to appear in the next biker story. Backhand index pointing right. And if you truly love the Hell's Angels, share this video and help us reach our 1,000 subscribers target. Prove your love.